Ever since this video dropped, I've been getting spammed in my mentions, YouTube and Twitter, react to it, debunk it. Y'all said there was a lot of bad points mentioned within here, which is typical of a DygoKnight video. You know, like in my last debunk video on this guy, quite illogical and, more emotional based, pretty biased when it comes to Boruto. Again, don't give hate to this guy. He is just trying to make a quick buck. He's just doing YouTube, might be a bit silly, but at the end of the day, he is just doing what we're all doing, just trying to do YouTube. So don't give hate to this guy. Let's just get right into it.
Sarada awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan in the latest Boruto chapter. It was the worst awakening of the Mangekyou Sharingan in the entire—
Alright, bro, why does he keep doing that? Like, there's flashes of, like, weird fan art that pop up, and he's already starting with his shenanigans, man. Goofy guy.
series by a long margin. And I know most people that like Boruto are gonna come here and say I am a Boruto hater, which isn't true. I simply criticize things—
Nah, this is crazy. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Nah, let me chill. But, yeah.
that deserve to be criticized, and this is—
No, you actually just don't criticize what deserves to be criticized. Like, a normal criticism would be, yeah, Ikimoto kind of draws Sarada weird. That's cool, because he does. You say Boruto is bad because I don't like what's happening in the manga currently. That's not a valid criticism. You're just saying I dislike something, which you're well in your own right to dislike it. Don't say it's bad because of it.
very much an instance of it. I will explain why Sarada's Mangekyou Sharingan awakening was so bad, but stick around till the end of the video because I have some nice things to say about Boruto as well, if you think I am such a hater of Boruto. So let's explain a little bit how—
That's actually unexpected. He has something nice to say. Let's wait around.
How it happened. Boruto and Kawaki have changed places because of Ada's plot device jutsu that manages to change the memories of every single person in the world with a few exceptions. Because of this, the entire Leaf Village—
It wasn't like a plot device as he's trying to write it off of, right? When people say plot device, it's often in like a negative manner and they're saying something really doesn't make sense, but for the sake of the story, the author just put this in all willy-nilly, right? Besides from everything being for the plot, as the plot is the reason everything happens in the manga, in the way that you're using it, no, it's not just a plot device. As the whole thing with Otsutsuki's manipulating the memories of humans and planet Earth have been around just since the Kaguya days. Kaguya, after she ate the god tree, she killed everyone, rose half of the population from the dead, and wiped their memories and implanted false memories. Otsutsuki have been doing this since the Naruto days. If this is a gripe about Naruto or Boruto, then it has to be the same for Naruto. It's even mentioned within the chapter that she does it, that maybe Otsutsukis have been doing this since like the beginning days, which we just know they have based on Naruto.
which is after Boruto thinking he is Kawaki because Kawaki imprisoned Naruto, and they now think Boruto killed Naruto. And everybody hates Boruto. Boruto's in a tough spot. The only people that know the truth are Sarada, Sumire out of all people.
Bro, why are you... Bro, what is this fan art of children, man? This is so weird. Like some weird fetish stuff.
Momoshiki, who is inside of Boruto, Boruto himself, obviously, Kawaki, Ada, and maybe Damon? Mitsuki and the new generation Inoshika Cho catch up to Boruto and they're trying to capture him. Sarada, who is actually not under the influence of Ada's spell, is trying to prevent anything bad from happening. She's saying, hey guys, don't do that, please! What's going on? You shouldn't be attacking Boruto here, he is the victim! Boruto manages to get away and they begin a pursuit, but Sarada lags behind a little bit, and then Sasuke comes in. Sasuke is under the influence of the spell, but Sarada pleads to him. Daddy, please, don't kill Boruto. Don't kill him, please. You have to believe me, please. And,
Okay. I just know I'm not the only one that thought that whole thing was just a little weird. I just had to listen to a grown man moan the dialogue of a kid for like 10 seconds in an odd voice. That was odd. Please don't let that happen again. I don't want to get demonetized.
Then she awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan. Oh, yeah.
That's really just an oversimplification of what happened. Now, I'll just tell you guys what actually happened. The part about her being sad that Boruto's in this predicament, it's correct. All right, she's seeing her best friend, who she grew up with and known from birth, literally have the entire ninja world, including her mom and dad, turn on him and chase him in the hopes of killing or imprisoning him forever. And she also got the news that the person she idolizes the most and the dream man that she wants to become like in the future, Naruto, is dead. So for a 12-year-old, getting news of one of the most respected people dying and having your best friend turned on by your mom and dad and everyone else, and you're the only one who knows the truth and you know no one's going to believe you, for a 12-year-old, that's a lot to handle. Perfectly consistent with how the Mangekyou Sharingan and Sharingan in general is just linked to high emotions. It's too consistent almost.
Beautiful, guys, beautiful. 10 out of 10. No, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. It was far from that. Sasuke then goes after Boruto, and he actually grants Sarada's wishes to save Boruto and talk to him, even though Sasuke thinks he is an enemy. But did you just hear what I said? How the awakening happened? Sarada was asking for Sasuke's help, and then out of absolutely nowhere, she awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan.
So again, like I said previously, he tends to do this, and just biased people in general tend to do this when they're talking down on works to make like their side appear more logical and better. They oversimplify what happened to show it in a bad light, so everyone who hears them and just goes with their word can be like, oh yeah, this is bad. He said it was bad because of this, and he's right. No, he's wrong. That's not what happened at all. That's like saying Sasuke awakened his Mangekyou because they said his brother did a bad thing, that he did it, right? While that's true, that's so vague that you don't get the full context and there's no weight added to the situation. All you know is he did a bad thing. They lied on him about doing a bad thing, and he was really a good guy the whole time. You're going to come out of that thinking, okay, makes sense, but it's bad. No weight to it, no context, no logic behind it. It's terrible. But no, that's not what happened with Sasuke. He killed his brother, thinking he was evil the entire time for killing his mom and dad. But then he learned that the village that he comes from made his brother kill the whole clan. And his brother was actually the good guy and loved him the whole time. So he really just killed him for no reason, over a lie. You see how much better that sounds?
What? Now, I'm not gonna say the situation they are in is a good situation, much in the contrary. Boruto is screwed, Sarada not as much, but obviously the reason, quote-unquote, she awakened the Mangekyou for was because she fears for Boruto's life. She also empathizes with Boruto and pities his situation here because the world is Boruto's enemy, and this is enough to awaken Sarada's Mangekyou Sharingan. Okay, this isn't nearly enough. This is almost nothing, actually. If Sarada had awakened the third Tomoe in this situation, it would have made more sense.
No, don't say it's not nearly enough. I'll explain to you how most of the Sharingans are awakened. The Mangekyou specifically, right? Itachi, let's go by the manga since we're comparing manga to manga, right? Itachi, in the manga, witnessed his best friend Shisui die. If you went to the anime and said Itachi's Mangekyou awakening was good, you're right, because the anime had far more build-up, far more scenes added to make it appear better, right? But in the manga, what we get of Itachi is we get Shisui gouging out his eyes to give it to Itachi, and then committing suicide, right? And we don't even get to see Itachi awaken his Mangekyou Sharingan. But what the anime serves to do is to give you a better explanation and build-up for that event, right? So no, this isn't the worst one. This is just consistent with all the other ones. And at the end of the day, she's 12 years old. This is a lot to weigh on the mind of a child.
But the Mangekyou Sharingan is something different. Of course, they are in a bad situation, but how many times before other Uchihas that didn't have the Mangekyou Sharingan were in bad situations just as this one?
None were in bad situations like this one, right? She has almost the emotional aspect of every single other awakening. Her best friend's literally about to be killed by her father, mother, and everyone else she loves. The person she idolizes probably looks at him as a family member, probably looks at Naruto as like a second dad or maybe an uncle or something. She believes he's dead. You know, when you're a human and you receive bad news, let's say you receive your uncle just died, you know how you get real sad and emotional? Yeah, for a 12-year-old girl, that is amplified times 1,000 because she's the only one who knows the truth. She is effectively lonely within this world. Besides Sumire, she is lonely within the world that is trying to kill her best friend. And her father, she finally tried to convince him with tears in her eyes and a newly awakened Sharingan to go save him.
Fearing for the lives of their comrades, thinking that everything is going to hell many times. If being afraid your friends or family were going to die, pitying people in this very abusive world was enough to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan, every single Uchiha that had a Sharingan during the Warring States period would have awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan.
No, because the Uchihas that were in the Warring States period, right? Like let's use Madara Izuna and their second in commands or whatever, right? They are fighting an entire other clan with backup, right? They have the aid of their entire clan, and they also going into battle thinking they have a chance. She is one little girl against the entire world, and her best friend is one little boy against the entire world. And she also just almost died by Kawaki, another person whom she'd grown close to and thought was a friend. So no, it's not like this at all. And again, her uncle figure, person she respects the most in the whole wide world, is announced dead as well. It is nothing like this. And to say it is completely dishonest and misinterpretation of the manga. Boruto is not a hard manga to read, let alone interpret or comprehend.
Sharingan. Sarada awakening the Mangekyou Sharingan so easily here breaks the universe. During the Warring States period, life expectancy of a shinobi was 35 years old because so many children died in the battlefield. I would imagine Uchiha parents would be very apprehensive, scared, afraid, and in complete anguish whenever their children went to battle. And
no, again, yes, they don't want their children to die, but they are raised up knowing that this is what's expected. It is still saddening, but knowing you have the aid of an entire clan and knowing that it's something you must do and knowing the outcome, that already pre-prepares your brain and mind for that. She is a 12-year-old. All of this happened in the span of one day. In one day, she's lost her uncle or idolization figure. She's lost her best friend against the world. And now even her parents aren't going to believe her. She has to cry and plead. For a little girl, this is heartbreaking. No human on earth probably could deal with that, let alone at 12 years old. You know the mental fortitude you have to have? Come on, DygoKnight. Please, just think realistically for a second.
And yet, the only two people that ever awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan in the Warring States period are Madara and Izuna. And Hikaku, but he's not as famous, so people don't really count him in. Even though Hikaku is the 78th most popular character in the history of Naruto, just saying. But my point stands, more people should have
No way he took the popularity poll as actual popularity. Most of the people that got voted on that list was because they just didn't have a story outside of Naruto. Right? Like Hikaku, or whoever you just mentioned, he's not the 78th most popular in the series. Actually, he just has like so little talked about. Fans were like, "Oh, if there's someone's getting a manga, you know, I want this character to be better explained, better built up. Let's give it to him." Because in reality, if it was truly just on who's the most popular, like Naruto and Sasuke would be top 3, at least. Come on, it's a manga about Naruto. Think.
awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan if it was so easy. And do not come citing filler episodes, such as this stupid episode they explain Izanami in the anime, because that's not...
Yeah, I agree. I don't enjoy bringing up filler, but... Well, filler like this. There's different types of filler that I will accept and not, but this filler is just completely unjustified. I don't like it. Nice one, DygoKnight. I agree with you.
canon, guys. Those Uchihas, they don't exist in canon. They don't have all that many Mangekyou Sharingan. Take Sasuke, for example. If this condition of awakening the Mangekyou applied for Sasuke in part 1, he would have awakened it when he was fighting Orochimaru in the Forest of Death, because he was certain Orochimaru was gonna kill his friends and kill him, and everything was going to hell, because Orochimaru was the most frightening thing he had ever seen, probably after Itachi. And you may be saying, no, Sasuke couldn't awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan in the Forest of Death because he only had 2 Tomoe, which...
Now, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but hear me out. Maybe because her situation's a lot worse. Again, they're the same age. Cool, they shared that. Oh, they think their friend's going to die? Cool, they shared that. She has 2 parents that are not going to believe her, that are also going to try to kill her best friend, amplifies that emotion. The one person she idolizes and cares about the most outside of her family and Boruto, Naruto, also presumed dead. All of that happens in the span of a couple minutes tops. These characters are moving like so quickly, right? Couple minutes, couple seconds, at most a couple hours. All of that weighing down on her is what pushed her to this level. Please don't try to compare Sasuke's situation, because it is not nearly as bad. Not to say that his isn't terrible, because it clearly is, but it is not nearly as bad.
I say you are factually wrong, because Obito and Kakashi awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan when they only had 2 Tomoe. Just look at that. They go from 2 to Mangekyou straight up. Third Tomoe appears a split second before the Mangekyou forms, but same thing could happen to Sasuke when he was fighting against...
Yeah, this part is also true. Even if she had the 2 Tomoe, or Sasuke had 2 Tomoe, it would still be possible to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. What DygoKnight tends to do is like sprinkle small bits of truth in like a sea of lies, right? Think of having some like eggs, right? You see, it's like the eggs are the truth, and he seasons the eggs with the lies.
Orochimaru. If the same condition applied, Sasuke would have awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan when he was being pummeled by Itachi in that hotel in part 1 as well. Imagine the anguish of Sasuke being just beaten down by his brother that he wants to kill more than anything. That was far worse than what Sarada was going through there. I mean, that was physical.
No, it is not far worse. The awakening of Mangekyou Sharingan is almost a completely emotional and mental battle, or struggle, or process, whichever word you want to use. Him getting beat up physically, yeah, it hurts, but it won't push him to awaken the Mangekyou. You have to experience these strong emotions such as sadness, hatred, whatever the emotion that drives your Sharingan to be more powerful. That is what awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan. He already hates his brother. Yes, his hate becomes amplified, but it does not get to the point of the Mangekyou clearly, as he did not awaken it. Her sadness in that moment and all of it being spurred on her at once is what caused her brain to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. And if we compare it to this situation yet again, hers outweighs his yet again.
And emotional pain, Itachi forced Sasuke to watch his parents being destroyed 24 hours non-stop with his Tsukiyomi. Do you think that's better or worse than Sarada's experience here? And yet, Sasuke didn't awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. He didn't even awaken the 3rd Tomoe there. And now go to the Valley of the End.
Now, I know people are going to try to put that one on as like, oh, yeah, it's probably worse than Sarada's, seeing it 24 hours at a time, right? Which is cool. Yeah, it is worse. But when having concepts like this, you have to understand one thing, right? In the writing process of a story, I'll actually give you 2 routes to interpret this. In the writing process of a story, there are things that are came up with post chapters and things that are came up with before chapters or beforehand, right? If we go with the route that the Mangekyou was a concept created after, or the awakening of the Mangekyou, not the Mangekyou itself, because Itachi clearly had it. The awakening of the Mangekyou is a process that was thought of and fleshed out post this, which we know because that's the only time we get the explanation on how to awaken it, is post this. This is why Sasuke did not awaken this, right? That is why. But even if we were to say, okay, the process of the Mangekyou and it being awakened is way before this, and this was thought out before the mangas even was conceptualized. This has been a thing in the manga the entire time. Watching your parents die is a traumatic event, but watching them die over and over, it can only grow so much. Things become stale to humans. That is why, like a soldier, if you have trouble killing one person as a soldier, that's cool. Probably gonna have trouble killing 2 people, 3 people, but eventually you're gonna get used to killing. Doesn't matter who you are. Doing something over and over, you're going to get used to it. That's why boredom is formed, and that's why we don't do the same things every day. Life will become stale, right? Not to say that he doesn't care about his parents, but it will become more stale over time, and it will become less sad over time. Sarada has all of these new experiences, different experiences, worse experiences, all on her at once for the first time. It is both fresh and more in quantity. Thus, the Mangekyou awakens.
Fight in part 1 when Sasuke was thinking about actually killing Naruto to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan as per Itachi's instructions. He didn't go through with it, but he got really close. I mean, he shoved a Chidori really close to Naruto's heart, almost killing him. He had the intention of killing him, so you would think that because he had the intention, it would count, but no, it didn't count. Now, you may say Sasuke was consumed by the curse mark in that moment, so he wasn't thinking very clearly. He was just consumed by evil, so his more empathetic emotions weren't present there. But then Sasuke awakens the third Tomoe when he recognizes Naruto as a worthy opponent in the very same fight, and he still goes through with the fight. He is fighting against his best friend, knowing that he's probably never gonna see his friend again.
No, not only does like you said, the curse mark, you almost just attack yourself within the same sentence. The curse mark amplifies his evil side and dark emotions. Also, the fact that he wants to get rid of Naruto, regardless of if he's his best friend, he will feel sadness, but the fact that it is amplified by the curse mark and it is something he wants to do, not in pursuit of the Mangekyou or an emotional reaction, just to get stronger, which Sasuke, by the way, stated that getting the Mangekyou is not about training for it. It's specifically a strong emotional response. All of those factors play into why he did not awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. You literally attack yourself. Like, even killing Itachi and things like that. Itachi says that is one way to awaken it, by the way. He doesn't say that is the way. And Itachi was wrong. Sasuke only awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan when he has a strong emotional response due to hearing his brother's story. So it's always been a pure emotional thing that you have to go through alone. Not amplified by any outside sources. It has to be you.
Knowing that he has to break the bond with Naruto. Sarada simply fears for Boruto's life, safety, well-being, and mental state because of the situation he is in. She's anxious, she is frightened, she is sad, but that's not enough. In order for you to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan, you have to undergo severe, absolute, mind-boggling trauma.
Yes, such as having your whole world flipped upside down. Metaphorically, of course. Such as what happened to her. Having the uncle figure, extended family member, person she idolizes, died, that would flip your whole worldview. You would become so sad because now you don't have this figure that you look up to. The one goal you're trying to obtain, the reason for that goal is gone. And then again, working to flip her world upside down once more, the person who's closest to you outside of family again, who you've been raised up with birth, Boruto, is being hunted down by your dad and the village. And people are lying on him saying he killed his own father. And no one knows the truth but you. It's almost like one of them philosophical questions like, would you really care about knowing the truth if only you knew it? Like let's say you knew 2 + 2 was 4, but everyone on Earth thought 2 + 2 is 5. Does it even matter anymore? Does it matter that you know the truth if no one believes you? Yeah, that's something to think about, especially for a 12-year-old girl.
It has to be something that will change the character's psyche forever, and that didn't happen here at all. The only thing she did differently here was that she pleaded with Sasuke. She actually trusted Sasuke once in her life because she never really wanted anything to do with Sasuke, and now she's like, please help.
That's another misinterpretation of the narrative. She's always wanted a relationship with her father. That's why she went searching for him. Like the whole what was it? The chapters with Shin Uchiha, that was literally her showing her bond with her father and mother and coming to love them both even more. It's almost like you can't read. I know in these videos I'll be saying you don't read the manga, but not to be mean or anything, it's almost like you can't read the manga. Jesus.
Help me out with this one. It's so absolutely weak. Let's compare this one to the other canon Mangekyou Sharingan awakenings that
Yes, the part I've been waiting on. Let's go.
we know how they happen, of course. Itachi Uchiha, he was dealing with a very bad situation in his life. He was being used by his clan as a spy to the Leaf Village and being used by the Leaf Village as a spy to his clan. His dad was trying to make him betray the village was trying to make him betray his clan. It was an all-around awful situation because the clan wanted to take over the village and Itachi didn't want that to happen. Itachi is then given a mission to destroy his clan, kill every single family member he has, every person he loves, his parents, his girlfriend. He doesn't go through with killing Sasuke. That's the only person he cannot bring himself to do it. Imagine the mental anguish of knowing you're going to kill everyone you love except for your little brother, and that little brother is going to hate you for the rest of his life because of what you did, even though what you did was done to protect him. You will then have to live a life of lies, pretending you are the worst person that ever lived, and fool your brother so that one day he's gonna kill you and become a hero. This is the mission Itachi was given, and Itachi didn't outright awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan because of this. This is way, way worse than what Sarada was experiencing there.
Bro, it almost parallels Sarada in a way. Because you see how you mentioned that he's gonna have to go on lying and being in secret to his baby brother and kill his entire clan. Yeah, that's a lot of strain on the brain. That's why his best friend literally committing suicide and gouging out his eyes and giving it to him forced him to awaken the Sharingan, right? He was very emotional at that time. Sarada has to live in a village and lie to everyone, even her parents, or what that's to assume she was gonna have to do, lie even to her parents that, yeah, she hates Boruto, she's not on Boruto's side, she has to pretend to do that in order to not die, and Naruto's dead to her. So yeah, everyone around her hates her best friend. She has to lie for her safety or she'll be killed. No one believes her. She's basically alone in the world. At 12 years old, she is literally alone, especially in the time that Sarada was born in, where it's not like Itachi's time. You know, he grew up, he had to do the training and all that. He had to actually kill people. He was part of the Anbu Black Ops. He had that mental training. Sarada grew up in a fairly peaceful time up until recently. Didn't have to go through what he had to at a young age. Her mind is much more fresh, young, less built. She's alone in the world just like him, a liar just like him, dealing with death of people that he idolized just like him. Regardless of if he had to kill her or she had to, it doesn't matter. They almost parallel each other in a sense.
If Sarada's conditions had applied to Itachi, he would have awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan. As soon as Danzo cornered him saying, you have no choice, you're either gonna die with your clan and everyone in it, or you're gonna kill everyone in your clan except for your brother. You have a choice here, but it's not a very good one, and you're gonna have to undergo extreme suffering. Everyone you know are gonna die. It's not good, guys. And Itachi only awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan when he watches Shisui, his best friend, almost a brother for him, unalive himself after giving him his last eye because he was bodied by Danzo. Now he knows he has no other choice other than killing his clan to save his brother because it's too late, and then he sees Shisui dying. That's when everything crashes down upon Itachi and he awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan.
And Sarada, she's asking her daddy to help her with Boruto because she is afraid Boruto's gonna die and Boruto has nobody else left.
It's another oversimplification of the narrative and what's the actual reason of her awakening it. If I were to do that for Itachi, his would sound a lot worse. Oh, his best friend committed suicide. He awakened it off panel. So cool. See the problem with that?
left. How sad, isn't it?
Let's take Obito, which is even more straightforward. He's crushed by a rock, he does physiotherapy, he comes back, and then all of a sudden, Kakashi and Rin are in danger. He rushes, and then when he
Now, I will say the only thing that makes Obito's better than Sarada's, in my opinion, is the fight and stuff that happens directly after Kakashi kills Rin. I enjoy that fight so much that that's what pushes it over Sarada's for me. But if we were to just take the event itself that caused the awakening of the Mangekyou, the person he loved gets killed by like his comrade, that also parallels Sarada. The person who she loves dearly, Boruto, whether you think that's romantically or completely platonically, doesn't matter. She grew up with the guy, like, since birth. The other person, that's her other best friend that she loves dearly, Mitsuki, is trying to kill him. Her dad, when he first drops down, he's trying to kill him. Her mom inevitably is gonna hate him and try to kill him. His dad's dead. It perfectly mirrors Obito's situation. The only thing that they difference is the fight that ensues later. So if you like Obito's, you kind of just have to like Sarada's as well.
arrives at the scene, he sees Kakashi, his best friend, the guy he was able to become friends with just before he quote-unquote died, stabbing the love of his life in the heart with a Chidori, killing her. Yeah, I think that warrants, the awakening of the Mangekyou Sharingan. Everything crashes down upon Obito, his life is turned upside down there, and then he awakens the Mangekyou. And now let's take Sasuke Uchiha. And people were really comparing Sasuke's awakening to Sarada's awakening, trying to justify Sarada's awakening with Sasuke's, which doesn't make sense at all. It's just because they didn't watch somebody die and then awaken the Mangekyou. That's the only resemblance those two awakenings have. Sasuke awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan after he learns the truth about his brother. The man he spent 10 years hunting down, wanting to kill, directing every ounce of his efforts and hatred towards destroying him. His entire life was devoted to his revenge. And then he learns his brother did everything to protect him, and he loved Sasuke. He learns that the Leaf Village forced Itachi into an impossible situation and put him into the worst possible position in the world, destroying Itachi's life, destroying Sasuke's life, destroying the entire Uchiha clan. The village made Sasuke watch everyone he loved dying. They made Sasuke experience extreme pain. They made Sasuke go after his brother. His brother was not at fault. Sasuke's life purpose was an absolute sham. Sasuke has an outright panic attack when he learns that. He doesn't want to believe it, but everything makes sense. And that's when he awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan, when everything is turned upside down, when the character's psyche is changed forever by this event. Yes, Sasuke didn't watch somebody die in front of him, but the mental torture and anguish he went through was a billion times higher than Sarada's. And now people are gonna say, well, but the condition.
Well, see, I allowed him to speak in whole right there so you can kind of grasp what he was getting at. At the core of what he was saying is Sasuke grew up this one way, thinking this one way, wanting to kill this one person the entire time, right? He had his mind set on it. His whole world in this equates to mind, is then flipped upside down when he learns that the person he was trying to kill and was basically coached into hating is a good person. And he doesn't deserve it. And he was just dealt a bad set of cards. It's almost like the flipping of a worldview and having your world completely changed. It literally and figuratively happened to Sarada, is what pushes these Uchihas over the edge emotionally. It's almost like Kishimoto is too consistent with the way he makes people awaken their Mangekyou Sharingan.
Conditions to awakening the Mangekyou Sharingan have changed because the cycle of hatred is done now. You don't have to kill your best friend anymore. You never had to kill your best friend to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. That was just Itachi telling Sasuke a way to do it, an easy way to do it.
Okay, I'm actually glad DygoKnight of all people understood this, that you did not have to kill your best friend to ever awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. He was simply saying that's a possible way to do it because that also pushes you over the edge emotionally. That gets rid of one of the driving factors in your life. If DygoKnight can comprehend this, I know the majority of the Naruto fandom can understand that Sarada didn't do it a different way. She did it the same way as everyone else.
There are plenty of other.
And speaking on the worst Mangekyou awakenings, Madara, Izuna didn't even awaken. Like, we didn't even see no awakening. How can you say it's worse than that? Hagoromo's in the fillers worse. Come on, man.
Ways we've never seen an awakening of the Mangekyou Sharingan after you kill your best friend. Maybe you can argue Kakashi killed Rin there, but it was Obito's Mangekyou in the end of the day and he just watched it. I honestly thought Sarada was going to awaken her Mangekyou by watching Sasuke die in front of her. But what they did was so absolutely lackluster and it breaks the entire universe. Every single Mangekyou awakening that we
That was such a wild way to explain how you dislike something, right? Basically, what he just said is, oh, it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. It breaks the universe. That's so childish to say. Like, come on, do better.
we've seen had a story arc behind the awakening, preparing you for it. Itachi's awakening, the first time we actually see the shape of his Mangekyou Sharingan, it's in a flashback during the Naruto vs Sasuke fight in part 1. After Sasuke pummels down those Uchihas that thought he killed Shisui, he then looks at Sasuke with a hatred in his eyes because of what he has to do, and the Mangekyou Sharingan forms. It's one of the best flashbacks in the entire story, and it's in a whole mini arc that shows what was going through Itachi's mind there. Of course, it's recontextualized later when we learn, oh, okay, things were actually different. Itachi was a good guy, but then it makes the flashback even more powerful. Take Sasuke. His entire story, up until he learns the truth about Itachi, leads up for him to awaken the Mangekyou upon he learns the truth. Sasuke's entire arc, up until midway through Shippuden, was leading up for him to awaken the Mangekyou Sharingan. Obito had also a mini arc telling his story after he survived the rock and how he awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan, and then to crown that, there's that amazing fight scene against the Mist Ninjas where he goes absolutely ballistic in one of the best rage moments of the series. Sarada awakens the Mangekyou Sharingan in a pretty nonchalant way. She's not the focus of the chapter, she's an afterthought, it appears. She awakens.
It doesn't matter if she's the focus of the chapter. Like, she is not the main character. She's not supposed to be the focus of the chapter. It's cool that they were the focus of their chapters, but her not being and being different doesn't make it bad. Another thing you brung up is how, oh, they had way more build-up than her. Well, I find it weird how you're not mentioning the Mangekyou Sharingans that didn't have build-up and kind of came out sporadically, but in the title you're still implying that they had a better one than Sarada. But regardless of your biasness, since we know you are biased, right? Getting back to the actual topic, her not having as much build-up doesn't mean hers is worse or better by definition. Because if build-up was the reason you thought things were good, bad, or well done at all, you would just literally have to take longer manga and longer anything over shorter things. But the reason why we don't is because quality is not decided on longevity. Quality is quality. Something being long, happening over a longer period of time, it's just that. It has nothing to do with quality. Yeah, it can amplify it in some instances. It can make it worse in some instances. Something can be too drawn out. Something can be too little explained. Hers not having as much build up as Sasuke's doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from it at all. You can just say Sasuke is better. But saying it's the worst where there's ones that have zero build up, zero on-screen moments, and no explanation is just dishonest.
After talking to Sasuke and being scared Boruto's going to die, and then after she awakens it, Sasuke looks at it and acknowledges, oh look, it's a Mangekyou Sharingan. And then he says, yeah, okay, I'll do what you want, Sarada, it's fine. And then he goes away, and then Sarada doesn't appear anymore in the chapter. What? Also, just the impact of the scene is so bad. It's so low. Remember when you saw Itachi's Mangekyou for the first time after realizing, oh crap, he did that to Shisui? Remember when you saw Sasuke's Mangekyou for the first time when he says, I am going to destroy the Leaf Village for what they did? Remember when you saw Obito's Mangekyou for the first time and he goes absolutely insane? All of those moments and even the panels in the manga were well made and constructed. Sarada's is extremely lackluster. It's a flat panel that only shows her Mangekyou out of nowhere. Oh, she awakened the Mangekyou, that easy. And the moment has absolutely no weight to it. There's no artistic value behind it. It's essentially like the rest of the Boruto manga. And you can say all you want about Sarada really liking Boruto, loving.
I am kind of weirded out by how much Boruto Sarada fan art he has and how much weird fan art of Team 7 he has. But regardless, that part's just completely subjective. Whether it's deep to you or it's like good in a sense, the emotional aspect to you, it varies person to person. I'm not going to tell you to feel sad for her situation or feel bad for her situation. Just understand it. Something we can really grasp more objectively is understanding and if it makes sense. And by the criteria that you've just laid out, you can't think she has the worst one. You have to think Madara and Izuna have the worst one, or even Fugaku. You have to, by the criteria of no build-up, very little explanation, and doesn't make sense, you have to think that. If you don't, you're again just biased, which you are.
Him even maybe as friends, maybe as lovers, and that she empathized with Boruto so much that she awakened the Mangekyou Sharingan out of sheer sadness. It was not enough. If that was enough, Itachi would have awakened his Mangekyou when he was 3, when he was fighting.
He just tends to do this in his videos where he just repeats the core of his argument a couple times, so bear with me.
In the 3rd grade ninja war when he first saw people dying and when he first had to kill people. Guys, you can't defend this. This was lazy. It's just bad writing. It's contradicting everything that came before it.
It doesn't contradict anything that came before it. You thinking it's not enough when you can't even prove it's not enough, and when people disagree it's not enough, you're just going completely off feeling. You haven't made one coherent argument to why it was enough. There's no logic behind the words that you speak. There's no contradiction here. You're just mad it wasn't the way you wanted it to be. Just say that, bro. It's not that deep.
They really wanted to showcase her Mangekyou before the time skip. They're probably going to use the Mangekyou before the time skip in the eventual fight against Code and Kawaki when they come to kill Boruto. It's going to be Boruto and Sarada with a new Mangekyou against them, maybe Sasuke, but Sasuke's going to die anyway, so something good about Boruto. See, I told you I was going to say something good about Boruto in the beginning of the video. I'm not a hater. Like this video if you enjoyed it, especially.
But, kind of final thoughts. You can kind of tell he doesn't read the manga. Code isn't going to side with Kawaki and fight Boruto. He's probably just going to fight whichever one he comes to. He still wants to raid the Leaf and take both of them. So he's against both of them. Maybe they'll fight Kawaki together. And Sasuke dying, I don't even think he's going to die anymore because he's just training Boruto. With that being said, no hate to DygoKnight. I don't even dislike the guy. I just think he's pretty dumb. Which, I mean, that's just me. Maybe you think he's smart. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. This video was requested by a lot of people. That's the only reason I'm debunking it. But, yeah, goodbye.